is a 3-hour speech. I'm going to give it to you in 8 minutes. So right now, we're going to give you a rocket speed demo. So this is an entry-level course. A lot of people, we've seen a lot of talks here about tokens, about standards, about new technology, and this is good. But more importantly, we need to worry about use cases. So if some people here that are left over, if you've never programmed before, I will show you just how easy it is. So you don't have to look up to all the programmers in the room, and you can just look sideways at them. Because they're also very impressed with the way that you are bringing your audience, your message to that audience. So I'm going to show you. Announcing a new website. NFT Life, NFT.life. So we're going to see how simple these smart contracts are. So we're going to take these 2 lines of code on NFT Life. We're going to copy that. We're going to go to this thing called Remix. We're going to click Run. We're going to choose our new contract, which is called NFT token. We're going to deploy it. You just deployed a smart contract with non-fungible tokens. See? 3 hours. Yeah. 3 hours. So I just want to show you that this is not intimidating. Unless you're coming out with some new features or you need 2,304 atoms at the same time, this is about exactly as easy as it is. If you're selling pictures of cats, pictures of other things, plush cats, plush other things, this is how you do it. So I'm going to go back and show you some of the gotchas so you get your money's worth. 3 hours, so a lot of people show up without a laptop. So if you're going to be involved in this community, you should be on GitHub, and not just on GitHub. You should have a full profile, including your email address and a photo that people are going to recognize you when you show up at events. They're going to talk to you. This is very important. I'm also a photographer, so this helps. Spend a lot of time on my self-portraits. But you need to be involved in GitHub, even if you're not a programmer. Going to need to write some code, so we will have a code editor. And we're going to have, I'm going to show you Google Chrome. Opera has some great tools coming out too. That came out last month. But I'll be showing you a Chrome-centric demo here. And even for veteran programmers, these are a couple good tips that will help you prevent losing millions of dollars. So first thing you want to do is you want to have a separate profile. Everything we're discussing today is also saved on NFT.life, so this is something you can refer to later. But I'll just give you the color now. You want a separate profile for all of your activities. The reason why is because you want to make sure that you don't accidentally pull up one website when you think you're pulling up another website. Now, what does that mean? Well, this is your problem. If you're doing any type of smart contract development, you are a target for phishing because it means you might have access to keys, and these keys could be worth many millions of dollars. We've seen a lot of hacks happen before, and we all know that phishing is the #1 attack vector for hacks. So do not use Facebook on Chrome on the same profile that you're using for smart contracts. Why? Well, the reason why is because Facebook, I've advertised on, has anybody advertised on Facebook before? Do you ever see the number of categories you get? Male between 17 and 18, gay, prefers transsexual people. I'm like, did you survey the sexual preference of these people? No, they infer it. So everything that you do, they're inferring about you, even if you don't tell them. If you're interested in cryptocurrencies, they're inferring. So wouldn't a great attack vector be to just put an ad on Facebook for login to Remix IDE? So they go there, you fish, you just lost $10 million. Just drill this home. You should have a separate color, preferably banana colored, or something ridiculous whenever you're doing something important. So your production environment should be a different color. If anybody's been programming on SQL and you have a production environment and a QA environment, you always use different colors. Don't get lazy with Chrome. Do not skip the previous step. This is extremely important. I've seen people lose lots of money because they're just treating it, oh, you know, I'm going to wake up at 2 o'clock, deploy something into production. I'm going to wake up, log in, log out. No, you need a separate environment for all of these things. So we use MetaMask. The teams that I've been working on, use this as a deployment tool. Remix ID is great. Truffle is great. A lot of people get hooked with Remix because it is so quick. And you always want to use test network. You should pick one and you should stick with it. This will help you because these contracts, you can compare them. Sometimes the different test networks run different software. So they just recently did an upgrade in January. This big upgrade that was canceled. We're not going to talk about that. But this big upgrade happened on Ropsten first. So if you're doing one network test on Ropsten, you're doing another on Rinkeby, it's different software. So you're going to have all kinds of problems. The contracts are going to have different gas prices. There's going to be different block gas limits. It's bad news. So the simple news is just pick the network and stick with it. So, okay, this is a very noob step. And so I had some great quotes from today. So do I have my sheet here? I heard, killing me, Smalls. So I loved a couple quotes. Sorry, I'm not going to attribute them. I heard, don't call them NFTs, call them ownership. Call them collectibles. Don't call them blockchain, call them assets. Don't worry about technology, worry about games and user experience. This is really important. For NFTs, we've talked a lot about games, but we've also talked about artwork. So I'm just going to walk you through a new workflow, which is different than CryptoKitties. So somebody starts with a token, and this token represents a physical thing. So we've seen this. Now, this method here is anything that is not on the blockchain. So those pixels and atoms we saw earlier today, the 20 by 20 blocks, those are not controlled by the smart contract. So they are external to the contract, which means there's an element of trust. When you send the tokens, the trust follows. More important than which token standard you choose or how you implement it is how can people be confident that they're going to receive the thing that they paid for? This is extremely important. This should be the first thing you think about before you write a white paper. So nft.life, that is the page that has the thing all these slides you just saw, that's where they are. And I promised everybody I was going to put Sue squares up on the screen because we just got new logos on there. And there you go. That's it. But there's one more thing. Okay, there's a quick demo. Heard a lot of interesting things today. We just saw a new token standard relating to a Mobius strip. We saw pixels with 20 by 20 pixels here. We saw a lot of things. So today I'm going to introduce something new that some people have been talking about. And I had this great exhibit slide. Well, everybody loves tokens, so we put tokens in your tokens, so you can use tokens while you're using tokens. So I'm going to show you batch tokens. What is a batch token? A batch token is a contract and it's going to own other contracts. These are NFTs that own NFTs. So we've seen some work on this before, but nothing's published. So let's get this one here. This is really difficult to do. How many tokens do we want? The limit on OpenSea is currently 30 to do a bundle. So how many do you want? 30,000. Got it. This is not, we're going to add a 0 there because this is not compressed. We're going to launch it. So we now have a token that owns 30,000 tokens, just like that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to see who owns that. This is a new proof of concept, and so the way this works is this is a single token contract that was just created very cheaply with 30,000 tokens in it. We're going to find the token owner of the first token, numbered 0. That is 0xCA which is us. And we can send it to somebody else. Also, this owner of tokens is itself an NFT. So we can take that. We can take the child contract, copy that, and we can access it as an NFT. And the NFT has a total supply of, or a balance of, 30,000. That's how many tokens we just made like that. So I just wanted to give you something a little exciting, a little in the future, so that you can see. But let's just talk about what we just saw here. We just, well, it wasn't 5,000, it was 30,000. We just saw 30,000 tokens created out of thin air. And this is addressing one of the issues of scalability that we have. And just want to give credit to the people whose ideas this came from. This is a compliant ERC 721 solution. XKCD inspired us for having very large numbers where enough nanobots to eat the earth. 998 is a standard for having tokens that own tokens. This is inspired-ish. And 1167, oh, I left out the best part. This is a proxy contract. So in order to deploy these very large-scale items, you just need to copy an existing implementation. This is something that was just standardized very recently, a couple weeks ago. And this is, I think, the first public implementation of that. So again, nft.live, you can read more about that. Here's my email address. And if you have any cred coins with my face on them, I will trade them for Sue Squares.